Oi, tudo bem? Aqui é a Luciana da Street Smart Brazil. Today I want to tell you about Brazilian greetings. Have you ever felt confused with all the kisses and hugs that you probably get when you meet your Brazilian friends? And I get a lot of questions about the workplace, like do you shake hands? Do you hug? What do you do? I will tell you about it today, but I want to say this is not an in-depth analysis of Brazilian culture. This is just my experience being Brazilian. One of the questions is how many kisses, because it could be different in different parts of the country. However, I would like to start by telling you how to do the kisses. As you can see in the picture, it is cheek to cheek. We don't touch our lips to the person's cheek. Of course, a close friend can do that, can give you a real kiss on the cheek. But the social greetings that will happen when you meet someone new in Brazil, even if you're meeting the person for the first time, if it's a social meetup, that's how we greet the person. And it's cheek to cheek. You go to your left side first with your right cheek, and then you go to your other side, your right side. So you alternate. And the kisses are between two women and between a man and a woman. They don't happen between two men in Brazil. Now, how many kisses? In most of the country, two. Like Rio de Janeiro, Salvador, Recife, most of the country, two kisses. You go to your left and then you go to your right. In São Paulo, they do one kiss only, which causes a lot of confusion for us Brazilians too. And I think one way you can think about it, it's like, we all talk about São Paulo being a fast-paced business culture. So you can think about the one kiss being this very objective, fast thing. This is probably not the reason they do one kiss only. This is just something I thought about to help you remember that in São Paulo it's just one kiss. Now, if you get this wrong, it's totally fine. I get it wrong all the time when I meet people from São Paulo. So we do the first one, and then I go to the second kiss. They don't, because they don't have the habit, and it's always funny. It's awkward, we laugh, and it's fine, it happens. I've been told that in some places in the state of Minas Gerais, it's normal to do 3 kisses. And in Recife we don't, but we have this funny thing when someone goes to the third one for some reason and the other person doesn't, and there's that little bit of an awkward moment. We tend to say três para casar, 3 to get married. So if you hear that, don't panic. No one is proposing. No one is even trying to hit on you. This is just something silly that we say, três para casar, like the third kiss to get married. I don't even know what it means. How about in the business place? We shake hands. We shake hands. Usually if it's a business introduction, a business meeting, it's the first time you're meeting those people in a formal setting, we shake hands. A handshake is aperto de mão. Aperto de mão. The verb is apertar, which means to tighten, to press, to squeeze. It's also the verb you see when you're flying, and they say apertar o cinto de segurança, to tighten your seatbelt. So if you're meeting a group for a meeting, it's customary to greet everyone. We do that when we arrive, and we do that when we leave as well. We love hugs. We hug people everywhere, all the time. It's not a tight hug. It's not a lingering embrace. It's, a friendly, warm, quick hug. And hugs may happen in the workplace too, especially if you've met those people a few times before in meetings. I'm not talking about coworkers, right? We will hug our coworkers when we meet them. If we meet them at the mall, if you meet them out of the office, we will hug them, but we don't do that every day at work. But even for a business meeting, if you've developed a relationship with those people, it's not uncommon that there will be a handshake followed by the quick hug. It could happen, don't get startled. Hugs are so common that it took me a while to get out of the habit of hugging everyone here in the US, because here people don't expect that. But I would do that. I would meet someone who I had met, I don't know, once before, And I would say, oh, it's nice to see you again. And I would go for the hug. And they weren't expecting that, but it took me a while to realize it. I guess we all have to navigate cultural differences. Now this is cool. Now that you know that we do beijos, kisses, and abraços, hugs, when we meet people and when we say goodbye, you will understand why we end phone calls with beijos and abraços. And we end emails with beijos or abraços, because it's an extension of what we do when we meet the person in person. So in the US, if I am talking to a friend and I want to say hello to your mom or say hello to your significant other, in Portuguese, in Brazil, we don't say hello. We send kisses and hugs because that's what we do when we meet them in person. So you will hear something like dá beijo na sua mãe, dá beijo na sua mãe, or diz pro Paulo que eu mandei beijo. Or it could come in the form of a hug, which is between men, that's what they say. Manda abraço pro Paulo. And also our emails. Emails with people we are friends with, people we know well, will end with beijos or BJS. And work emails, of course not the first time I contact a client, I don't finish my email with abraço. But the second time I do, because that's what we say, that's what we do in Brazil. It's cordial to say abraço at the end of the email. Now tell me, what's your experience with the Brazilian kisses and hugs and handshakes? I would love to learn about your experience. And I would love to invite you to connect with me through my email list. I would love to do that. Every 2 weeks or so, I send an email with a mini Portuguese lesson, sometimes learning resources that I create or cultural tips about Brazil. And I personally write all my emails and I reply to every email I get. I will put a link in the video description so you can join us. I would love to hear from you. Muito obrigada for watching this lesson. Tchau, tchau.